Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk more about the trip cost and the payment plan option that is available to you. So first of all, there's two options when it comes to the price of this trip. The first is if you register by January 30th, you do save some money and you do guarantee your child's spot on the trip. So if you do register by January 30th, the base price of the trip is $1,029. This does include a $49 deposit and covers housing students per hotel room. But if you order before January 30th, you do save $75 as World Strides early bird discount. So you will pay $954 for your trip. The second option is that if you register after January 30th, you will pay that full $1,029 base trip price. And at that time, the deposit also goes up to $99. And again, that still covers housing students per room. These prices do not include the optional $159 full refund program offered by World Strides that we'll talk about shortly. A little bit more about trip cost. To guarantee your child's spot on the trip, you must register by January 30th and pay that $49 non-refundable deposit. What happens after the 30th is everybody who's registered at that time gets to go on the trip. And then we look at how many buses we need to accommodate those students. After the 30th, we will fill the last bus that we need to accommodate all of the students who have registered by the 30th. So for example, maybe there are 10 seats left on the bus after we fill it with those who have registered by the 30th. In other years, there have been 30 to 40 spots that we can fill after that guaranteed date. So if you want your child to go on this trip, I would highly recommend registering by the 30th because again, after the 30th, you're kind of gambling. It's not guaranteed that they will be allowed on the trip. We do take registrations until we're full, and we do have a wait list if the trip happens to fill up. But again, registering by the 30th will guarantee your child's spot on the trip. We do know that this is a pricier trip, so you do have the option to enroll in a payment plan with World Strides. You pay through installments either by mail, on the phone, or online. All three of those, there is a $6 charge for each payment. You can also enroll in Easy Pay, which is an automatic withdrawal from checking, and there is no extra charge. You'll see on the next slide there are some installment payment dates, but know that the final payment is due on August 25th of 2023. And another important thing to note on this slide is that World Strides handles all of the payments that you will pay with this plan. None of the money comes to Novi Middle School or through Novi Community School District. You pay and register through World Strides. To register for the payment plan, you may need our trip ID, which is 207524. If you register for this plan, payments of $200 are due on 2/20, 4/20, and 6/20, with the remaining balance due at the final payment date, which is 8/25. There are other payment plan options available to you upon request. So like I mentioned in the first video, World Strides is very appreciative of our business, and they also, as a company, really want students to go on these trips and have these experiences. So if you communicate and are upfront with them, they will work with you to make sure you can finance this trip for your child. So for example, we have had families who have contacted World Strides and changed these payment dates. We have had parents who are even paying for the trip after we've traveled, but they've communicated with World Strides and set up those plans. So my advice to you is, if you are going to have trouble paying for this trip, please communicate with them. They are more than willing to work with you, but they do need that communication. What you don't want to do is miss payments because there are late fees if you have not communicated with them. And that's the $15 late fee for missed installments, and then a $60 late fee for a missed final payment. When you register, you do have the option to register for the World Strides Full Refund Program. It is optional, but over half of our families and up to 70% of families across the U.S. choose to register for this plan. It is an additional cost of $159. It doesn't include the registration price for the full refund program, your initial deposit, and any handling, late, or administrative fees. Make sure you're reading the website carefully for more information regarding the full refund program. And note that without the full refund program, World Strides does retain 100% of your tour price if you cancel less than 44 days prior to departure. So essentially, this is insurance. As with anything, you're kind of gambling whether you buy it or not. I would recommend that if you are someone who is thinking that maybe your family will have a job transfer and will move within the next year. Maybe your child plays sports and is prone to injuries. Maybe you're worried about your child getting sick right before the trip. Those are all cases in which our families have used the full refund program. Again, it is not required. It is optional. It's like any insurance. You might use it, you might not. But it is your choice whether or not to register for it. We do have some scholarship opportunities for students for this trip. The first is the FLAG scholarship, which is offered through World Strides. It is offered to families with an annual adjusted gross income under $85,000. Money is given out on a sliding scale that compares your annual adjusted gross income to the price of the trip. So what you could get for the trip is different for each family based on your income. It is available on a first come, first served basis. So if you're interested in it, I would contact World Strides right away for more information. And again, you can go onto World Strides website and contact their customer service for more information if you are planning on applying for that scholarship. There is another opportunity through Novi for more financial assistance. But first, please apply for that FLAG scholarship through World Strides. It's kind of a separate pool of money than our Novi money, and you can pull from both of those pools. So if you have applied for that FLAG scholarship, then the Novi Educational Foundation, the Novi Youth Assistance, and NMS PTO team together to offer scholarships for this trip. You can receive up to $400. The application to apply for the scholarship from all three of these programs is on one form. It's found on the NMS website under the DC trip link. This does not come to the school. You do send or take the scholarship application to the Novi Youth Assistance at the Novi Civic Center. As you're going through the registration process, you will notice that you will be asked to sign up for what's called My Trip. It is a site provided by World Strides for parents to get updates about the trip. So after registering, you will receive an email asking you to register for My Trip. It's very important that you are using an email that you know you will be checking. This My Trip email is not going to be spam that comes to you. You're going to receive important emails such as those asking for the t-shirt and sweatshirt size for your child. We'll send emails about reminders about the mandatory parent meeting in October. We'll send reminders about medication and when it's due and when you need to have forms in. We'll send reminders about departure time and location. And that's all the information you want to have. This is how we send out these updates and requests. So please make sure you are registering for it and you are using an email that you know you will be checking.